What up, people of the interwebs, and maybe even the universe, depending on your broadcasting abilities. Maybe you are from a different planet, a different solar system, or possibly from Uranus.
That's a possibility, I guess.
And if you are from the dark side of that moon, welcome to episode 142 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created into bringing everyone in the universe all the nerd news you need to know. I'm Brian West, the terrestrial hostess with the mostest. And
I'm Ryan Thomason. I am not from Uranus. Just so you know.
Well, I feel like this isn't that moment where you need that star that's like, doo-doo-doo, the more you know.
Yeah.
Well, now
when
that
is there
we've...
a time where you don't need that?
So is that like the, now that we established that baseline that you are not from Uranus? Is it Uranus or just Uranus in general?
Yeah, I think we're actually, Neil deGrasse Tyson corrected and said that we all been saying it wrong our whole life. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be I can't remember.
Well, that was a riveting tidbit of information, Ryan.
It sounded very not like an asshole.
Well, we're going to call it Uranus on this show. What do you think? I think about it. What would you be called if you were from Uranus?
You'd be called a Uranian.
Would you be called Poopians? You're poop from Uranus?
No.
Hello, fellow poop from Uranus?
It's got to be a deviation of the name. So it'd be you're a Uranin?
Well, what are we? We're Earthlings? Is that what we call us? We're what? Terrans?
Well, I prefer that we would be
Terrestrials? We're Terrans? Yeah. How does Terran? Terran has nothing to do with Earth. So if we wanted to name, Uranus people,
Uran.
I don't know. We should call them the Dingleberries. How about the Dingleberries from Uranus?
I think I want to actually get a T-shirt now that says Dingleberries from Uranus.
But we'll spell it all highfalutin like French. We'll put all those little apostrophes over the I's and shit.
Yeah.
So it'll pronounce Dongas, Buras. That looks like Dingleberries.
Yeah. And then it'll just be a photo of the planet of Uranus.
I'm really hoping that now that no Dingleberries from Uranus are actually listening to us, because they may declare war because we've insulted their entire race of people.
It's our country is basically declaring war on everybody anyway, so we might as well just
fuck it.
Double down.
Let's do it! What if we went to battle with Uranus? War has come between Earth...
The great Dingleberry army.
I can just see Earth just...
over the hills.
I can see Earth just pounding Uranus. That is the one time I do want Donald Trump to give that speech. We from Earth are here to pound Uranus. Nobody pounds Uranus better than us. Nobody. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
We're gonna take all those Dingleberries. We're gonna put them in our tiny little hands.
We're gonna grab every one of those Dingleberries and we're gonna pull them right off Uranus. we're gonna build a space wall.
This is a geek reporting show. By the way,
we're gonna make it toilet paper because he really doesn't understand the concept that we're going to war with another planet. He actually thinks we're going to war with someone's anus.
He's more debate. I can see him as more debate kind of guy. He likes to just spread them and just feel the water splash.
We're gonna flush all of you Dingleberries right into space.
No. We're gonna spread our cheeks and let the hard rinsing water purify our
rinsing water of America.
Because sometimes I get that swamp butt really bad. So I gotta keep an extra...
No collusion.
Towelette.
There's been no collusion with Uranus. No collusion. Alright, moving on. You know what? We have a lot... I just got back from vacation. Technically, I'm still on vacation, so my brain is...
I've been working 10-hour days.
My brain is in vacation mode, and apparently Uranus mode. How do we even get on that one? I don't even know where that comes from. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to keep the banter short today because this could end up being the entire episode where we could talk about shit like this. Which, if you'd like to hear us do that, we could do that sometime, I guess.
We talk about No, I don't want to keep going down the road. We got a great show.
One person comments on our YouTube page that says, we want an episode where you guys do nothing but ramble about nonsensical stuff. We'll do it. Don't you fucking...
We'll do it.
Don't you tempt us with a good time. But this episode is not that episode, to Ryan's point.
Yeah.
Comic-Con happened this last weekend, and we have way too much shit to talk about. That's why we decided that even though I'm on vacation, I came back for this episode because we could not...
He left his family
at
the campground.
They're still out there in the wild. I said I'd be back in 10 minutes. They sent me to the store because we ran out of marshmallows. And that was 17 hours ago. So I left my phone, so I don't actually know if they've called the police and declared me either dead or sent a search party out. They probably think I was abducted by dingleberries.
Well, if anything, if they give Chuck a knife, I'm sure they'll be just fine. So,
oh, my kid is a gangster. But yeah, note to self: never schedule a vacation on Comic-Con again because I'm out in the woods trying to find fucking LTE service. And I even got Verizon, right? I'm like trying to find LTE, and I'm like, okay, I got to see what trailers were dropped. I got to see what news happened. And yeah, I'm never going to do that again because I'm telling you.
I'm going to hike up to the top of this mountain.
Dude, the first night I get there, the bomb of all shell of the nerd world happens. And I'm like, what the shit? So, I mean, here, let's talk about it. Let's dive right into the news. No more dicking around. Fucking huge news. Huge. So big, we're not even going to do the intro. Fucking Marvel fired James Gunn over the weekend over some tweets he put out.
Disney fired James Gunn.
Disney fired James Gunn. They severed their complete connection with him. So, what does this mean? We'll talk about that in a second, but for Guardians of the Galaxy. But, yeah, fired him over 2 tweets that he made back in 2009 and 2011. Now, don't get me wrong, these tweets, we're not going to talk about them here. If you want to find out what the tweets are, you can go online. They're easy to find. One had to do with rape, and one had to do with pedophilia. Obviously not subjects that you want to be associated with. But these tweets came out a long time ago. He apologized for them a long time ago, explained why he said them. His background came from comedy. He was working on shows like Toxic the Avenger. He worked with Trauma, where they literally were pushing the envelope. Now, that being said, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I know we've been on this show talking about Roseanne. Good thing she got fired. But there is a difference in something you said in bad taste that you apologize for immediately, and you do not go on the warpath all the time about, Roseanne's like dressed up like Hitler, joking about, or she joked about dressing up as Hitler, joking about like Jews being killed in like a fucking furnace. That's a little different than what James Gunn did. A lot different. And she continues to do it to this day. So anybody who wants to make the Roseanne comparison to James Gunn, way off base. But anyway, Disney knew about this when they hired him. Like I said, this was buried and put into bed a long time ago. This was recently brought up because anybody who's not on Twitter or doesn't follow the political thing, I know we joked a little bit about Trump and stuff in the beginning, but we try and keep politics out of the show. But James Gunn has really taken upon himself that he believes that Trump is bad for America and that he wanted to do his part to educate people on what is going on. So he's a very outspoken anti-Trump guy, to the point where he was starting to get attacked by some really big name on the right-wing circuit, the Ben Shapiro's, the Alex Joneses.
Guys that make a conspiracy about pizza places.
Yeah, and so because of that, one person, the guy who originally came up with the Pizzagate, and if you're not familiar with Pizzagate, some crazy dude decided that he wanted to release a story that Hillary Clinton was running a sex ring through a pizza parlor in D.C., right? Come on, man. Like, I don't care if you like or don't like Hillary Clinton. You want to talk about her emails? Whatever, do that. But at least there's something there that you can actually talk about. Hillary Clinton was not running a sex ring through a pizza parlor.
Yeah, and you don't need to go in there with a gun to try and save everybody.
And if you think she was, and you're going to get on our comments and just blow us up about how wrong we are, you're not getting a response. I just don't care, because I'm not even going to entertain that thought or conversation.
Not going to give a shit whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. But, so anyway, this guy took it upon himself to dig up whatever he could on Gunn and found these 2 tweets that have long since been deleted and made a big stink about it, wrote a whole article about it, and
basically like a fake, like, oh, this is so bad. I can't believe Disney supports him, and there's a million people that agree with me.
Yeah, and coming right off the back of the backlash of the Roseanne stuff, and this is why we brought up Roseanne earlier, is the main reason why Disney's been real mum on this, which surprisingly hasn't really said anything other than this isn't the type of behavior that we want to associate with our company. Even though they knew long time ago that this was out there.
I'm sure they have actors or actresses or directors or producers that have said just as bad shit.
I do believe Disney had a long-running partnership with Weinstein when they worked with Miramax. I do believe that,
Ryan Reynolds is going to be, one of their employees, technically.
Yeah, he does Deadpool, and like I said, I have no confirmation. I'm not saying Weinstein is, buddies with Disney. All I'm saying is they've all worked together in the past, have had no problems with it in the past. Roseanne has been a long time, employee of ABC. Didn't have a problem with that until everyone got mad and they fired her. So a lot of people believe that this is a direct result of the Roseanne Barr thing. They don't want another fiasco. They just want to move past it. But like I said, to me this sets a real bad precedent. This isn't something that he came out recently and just went way over the line, right? This is something that happened a long time ago that he's already made amends for, right? He's already apologized for. It's already been accepted that, hey, he's moved on from this. And if Hollywood is going to start digging up, if people are going to dig up, everybody's got dirt on them somewhere at some point in some time.
Everybody's going to be fired.
Yeah,
there's two people left.
Listen, I dug up a eyewitness who back in junior high said Brian West whipped out his wiener and peed on a basketball court. Oh, well, okay.
I went
fired immediately.
I went to high school with Chris Pratt. Yeah. You know how much shit that I saw?
And he's a God-fearing man now, but apparently back then he was not.
I know shit. I'm not going to
But isn't that the point?
I'm saying, I could say, what Chris Pratt would do.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't matter because he's Star-Lord, and James Gunn was the director, and there's no point now in directing Volume 3. So.
Well, anyway, a lot of people have come out in defense of James Gunn. Pretty much everyone associated with Guardians of the Galaxy. Pretty much anybody who knows James Gunn. James Gunn has deleted suspended his Twitter account for the time being until I'm sure he figures stuff out. But, there's a petition that came out to get him rehired. The petition was up to almost 200,000 signatures last time. Normally we laugh at petitions. This is one that we think is a good one. There's no way Disney's hiring him back. They would look terrible. As bad as they look for firing him, in my opinion, they would look even worse if they rehired him, right?
I think they were far too reactionary, and they probably did not even look at the source of these quote-unquote complaints even gauge it. They were just like, oh no!
Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately for James Gunn, like I said, we don't condone these tweets. What he said was awful. You shouldn't make rape jokes and pedophilia jokes, but like I said, he'd long since apologized from him.
I've watched Eddie Murphy's Raw. I've seen a lot of some really, I've seen some comedians, people say some pretty bad stuff.
And this can't be anything else than other. And unfortunately, as much as the Me Too movement was very important, and I'm not even going to remotely condemn that at all. I definitely think this is some of that backlash from. This is why Disney fired him so fast. They do not want people thinking that they are associated with, even remotely, with people who condone rape or pedophilia. Like I said, some of these big hallmark things of the Me Too moment. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but for all these people that have been fired, unfortunately, James Gunn, I think, is getting caught in this a little bit.
The most unfortunate thing out of all of this is that it just emboldens those fringe lunatic people. They already feel like they're doing good because they got rid of Tran on Instagram. They got Daisy Ripley to give up her, to quit social media. They got that.
Yeah. Now they're getting
that girl that played in Titans. I don't know what her name is, but the Starfire. They got her to quit her Instagram because she wasn't black enough or something like that.
Well, and now they've got James Gunn. And they've actually got.
So they're feeling emboldened now, and they're just going to keep doing it. And every time they get to knock someone down, they feel like they won something.
They're winning the war, Ryan, against the Hollywood elitist liberals who are ruining America. I just, like I said,
just go back to sitting in your room and jerking off on the computer. Go
and not just that. As America, we got to be able to have. Not America as the world, as people, we've got to be able to have the conversation and be able to contextualize. Say, okay, listen, people like Harvey Weinstein, monsters. Kevin Spacey, monsters. Yeah. There's a difference between raping someone and making a bad joke a long time ago, right? They can't all be in the same category where people just say, now listen, if Disney knew nothing about this, I would understand if they were like, hey, we're going to reevaluate our relationship with them. But they knew about this going into it. And to your point, the fact that they let some hack basically get James Gunn fired because of his beliefs and opinions on the current president is fucking terrible. Disney did a bad thing, and to your point, they've emboldened a lot of bad people to start saying a lot worse things. This to me is just get ready, Disney, because this is just going to be like, are you going to fire all your directors? Who's next? When somebody digs something up on Kevin Feige, a tweet he made a long time ago, you're going to fire Kevin Feige too?
Find something on Mark Hamill, make sure he never does Star Wars again.
So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think
he's got an opinion and he doesn't care.
Disney has had no problem in the past, back when they had Touchstone Pictures and a lot of other R-rated properties. And like I said, they've been buddying up with a lot of these people who have been, a lot of bad people in Hollywood.
Their incoming new comic book property of Deadpool is probably the most vulgar of anything they've probably ever taken on.
So,
and, they don't seem like they're really going to give a crap.
Yeah, and they never had a problem doing any of it back then. Now all of a sudden, everything's an issue. So I don't know. I just think that you're setting a dangerous precedent, because sooner or later, everything comes out. And if you set a precedent, you have to fire people no matter if they've made amends or not made amends, or you knew about it or not. Good luck with that one. And I would like to say that I have no insider information who Disney has hung out with or not hung out with in the past, or what they have or have not done. I'm not sitting back here holding an envelope saying, I know what Disney's done, and I know who they've hung out with. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for, Disney.
This is bullshit.
You guys have been around for a long time, and you guys have employed a lot of people who, and worked with a lot of people who have come out as not being good people. So
all I can say is that Walt Disney was a Nazi sympathizer.
What? Really?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, well, there you go. God. Does anybody not have any dirt about him? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's our piece on that. We are not very happy with the firing of James Gunn. That being said, if you are anyone, and you should probably not make rape and pedophilia jokes. Probably not in your best.
The jokes about Uranus and
definitely joke about dingleberries and Uranus. That is perfectly okay.
Those are perfectly fine.
All right, here we go. What else we got? We'll talk about trailers in a minute. So we got a ton of trailers to blow through. So I'm just gonna hit some of the news stories up, and then we'll get into the trailers. So I'm not skipping over the trailers. We're gonna spend 20 whole minutes talking about all the trailers we saw, because there was a lot of them. So Cloak and Dagger Season 2 has been renewed. In fact, we're going to get it really soon. They've announced the premiere date for Season 2 is going to be in April. So usually you get a full year turnaround between shows, and they're not even finished with this one. It's not going to finish till sometime in August, probably the end of August. But about 8 months later, we're getting a Season 2. It's going to be 10 episodes again, same cast, everybody's coming back. But this is one of the few shows that Marvel's had recently that has gained, every episode gains more and more viewers, and it's Freeform's biggest hit by far. I mean, it's not even close.
Oh yeah. I think I'm on episode 6 or something. God, it's so good. I love it. I just wish I had more time to try and get all caught up on it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, really good show. This week and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not too much of a spoiler. They just dropped a Misty Knight reference on it, so these shows may not be connected. They haven't said anything about the Avengers or anything, but they are definitely connected to the Netflix shows, which is kind of cool. So
yeah,
there you go. Sounds like they're making They're making two universes. We're getting the TV universe, and we're getting the the movie universe. But at least that's connected.
All converge on the Disney streaming app.
Supergirl is adding Supergirl. There's a lot of CW news this week. We got a Flash trailer we're going to break down for you guys, but.
Let's just say that DC did dominate the news.
Yeah, you know what? I play no favorites. I love Marvel, but my heart, I guess, probably has always lied in DC. Which, when we start talking about some of the stuff later, you're gonna see me get real excited. But it was kind of fun to finally see DC own a Comic-Con. Now, to be fair, Marvel brought nothing, so hey, it wasn't hard for them to do it. I mean, there was some news about the X-Men and X-Men properties, but other than that, but DC really brought it, and even if Marvel had brought it, I think DC still might have got this one. They had a really big Comic-Con, which is good news for them in the future of the property if you're a fan like we are. Supergirl is just a little bit of Arrow universe news. I guess Supergirl's consider that. They're adding a whole bunch. They introduced a bunch of new cast members they're going to bring, but we're not going to really talk about those. But they did announce that they're going to introduce the very first transgender superhero ever. So.
Yeah.
If you ever,
I'm interested to see how the character works.
Got a new trailer. Trailer looks cool. Looks very Supergirlish. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very far behind on this series. I do enjoy it.
Seasons behind. Abbreviation of S.
Yeah. I might just say to hell with it. Start watching from fresh. Start again and then try and catch up later. I got behind because I kept trying to watch it with my daughters, and then we just kept falling farther and farther behind to the point where it was like.
I could give you the 5-minute catch up.
All right.
Off air, and you'll be just fine.
Well, maybe we'll talk about that. CW, if you've ever if you ever watched the Arrowverse shows, they've been huge on diversity. Batwoman's an LGBT character. She's a lesbian, and she's gonna be I think the first lead lesbian character. I know some of the Legends of Tomorrow are bisexual. I know White Canary is.
Yeah,
but
there's no straight up. Only likes ladies.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to get our first transgender superhero. So this will fit in nicely to this universe. They've always been very LGBTQ friendly, and it's always worked really well for them, so I'm excited for that. I think it's a great place to introduce that character. More about that superhero when we find out about them, and we'll talk about that at a later date. What else? CW also announced that we are not going to be getting any Booster Gold will not be introduced in the Legends of Tomorrow Season 4. A lot of us had kind of hoped that we would get Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Alas, that is not to happen, which kind of sucks. Yeah.
I would have gone with Blue Beetle. I don't know enough. Isn't Booster Gold just kind of like a dick?
Yeah. I'll talk to you about it offline, but he's Rip Hunter's father, which is kind of cool. That's kind of why they could introduce him, maybe. He's from the future. He was a total loser who always wanted to be a superhero, and he basically stole a suit and a time ring and went back in time. He stole a super suit and a time ring, so when he goes back in time, he has all the information of the future, so he knows kind of when to stop crimes and try and make him. But he's got powers because he's got future tech, and he's just kind of a douche. But if you really want a really cool Booster Gold series story, I recommend reading the 52. It was a DC. I know I talked to you about it in the past, but it's you can get it in 4 volumes right now on graphic novel. DC decided to every single week release a new comic book that told one large story with none of the main superheroes. It was all the B Squad. And Booster Gold featured very predominantly in that. It was a very good series. It's one of my favorites.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking that out. It's really good. A little more DC news. So the DC EU, which was never officially called the DC EU, has officially given us a name for their universe. It's called World of DC is what they're going to call it. So it's not the Marvel Universe, it's not the DC Universe, it is the Worlds of DC.
The World of DC.
Honestly, it sounds kind of dumb, personally, but you know what? It makes a lot of sense. They're trying to distance themselves from Marvel. They don't want to sound like Marvel, and they want to incorporate the vastness of the DC Universe, which is huge. It's a very big universe.
I'm sure some company was paid millions of dollars to come up with that.
Oh, I'm sure. We'll see. Some more DC news. Jason Todd and Deanna Troi have officially been confirmed for the Titan series. They are coming. That is good news. Deanna Troi, I think she is like the cousin. Donna Troi, I think she's the cousin, maybe, of Wonder Woman. So she's from... She? Yeah, I think she's the cousin. Or niece, maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But I know who Jason Todd is. he's a goddamn Red Hood, and we could get some form of the Red Hood storyline, which would be great. This is the first time we're going to get Jason Todd in a live-action show, and I'm really excited for it.
We got Robin saying, fuck Batman.
Yes! So Jason Todd is going to be capping motherfuckers. He's going to be like, what'd you say, bitch? Pow, pow, pow. It's going to be great. I'm excited about that.
I need to finish. I started reading the Red Hood comic.
Oh, it's so good.
I got to, I'm on issue 3, so.
All right. And then lastly, we got some news for The Gifted. They had their new trailer. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was good. I don't know. I like.
Which trailer?
The Gifted, season 2 of The Gifted.
Oh, Gifted.
The show that Fox put out that was pretty decent about the X-Men without the X-Men, but everyone has forgotten about it.
The one about the family that had the daughter and the son that were gifted.
They had the daughter and the son that were mutants, and then they hooked up with the mutant underground, the Resistance. The X-Men were gone. Nobody said why or how. And you know what?
I watched the first episode, but then I never watched anything.
It had some very Bryan Singer-ish things that I did not like, but it also had some really good stuff too. So I would give it a solid 7 out of 10 for the series. So it's not bad, but it's worth watching if you're a fan. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really excited about season 2. I'll watch it. Hopefully it gets better. Like I said, the fan reaction from the trailer shows you how much I'm excited for it because I didn't watch the trailer yet, but apparently it was a pretty good trailer. I don't even know if it's online, honestly, to be honest with you. But pretty good trailer from reaction, and I don't know. They're introducing a lot of new mutants and stuff in it, which, whatever. It comes back this fall. I'll check it out. We'll let you guys know if it's worth watching. And then our last little bit of news. Let's see. Here. The Batman Complete Animated Deluxe Limited Edition series goes on sale October 16th, Blu-ray, HD, the entire Batman animated series in a box set. It looks amazing. My guess is they're selling this because it's going to be all available real soon on the DC Universe app for free. So get your money now.
And this one comes with all little figures and all the cool extra stuff. It looks a lot of fun. So and I'm communicating with our Warner Brothers contact that sent me that information. So maybe we'll give away a box. You never know.
All right. Let's see. Deadpool. The Deadpool 2 director is in talks to direct the Enter the Dragon remake. I'm guessing Bruce Lee will not come back and star in it. I could be wrong.
His son.
Or his son.
Yeah.
Ooh, bad joke. Shut up, man. That's the kind of thing that'll get us fired. Shh.
Getting sad.
Sorry. Whatever. You know what? That's a classic. I don't really care. They remake everything. At this point, I'm no longer outraged about anything. Remake it all. Whatever. I don't care. Go see it. Don't go see it.
Remember that one time where you sent me all those videos of yourself doing karate?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was great.
So I sent all those to them, and I said, main star, and then I put a question mark, and then I copied all the videos.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely think I should be getting a call back any day now for that lead role. You know what? You know what it looked like me doing karate? Have you seen The Great White Ninja with Tommy Boy? Yeah, that'd be me. It'd be awful. Do not hire me. I will recommend one thing. Hollywood, if you're listening, cast an Asian lead who knows how to fucking do kung fu. If you're gonna get,
get a white guy.
There are plenty of roles in that movie that can be
done at least 2 months of training.
Listen, there's plenty of roles in that movie that can get you to your 95% white cast. That is a requirement for most movies. Do not cast the Bruce Lee role as a white dude. I don't care if it's Chuck Norris. Don't do it.
There's no way they're going to be able to find an Asian guy that knows how to do kung fu. No way.
That's probably true. Oh, God. You know what? I take it back. Don't remake this movie. This is a terrible idea. Let's let this one be. Apparently, Zachary Quinto has confirmed that Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek movie will, in fact, be an R-rated movie. No word yet on exactly what it's about.
Get ready for a lot of F-bombs.
There's going to be some green lady hot loving with Captain Kirk, guaranteed. A lot of F-bombs. Whatever the racist word for Klingon is, you're going to hear it a lot.
Yeah, and it's going to be some just extremely bloody...
violent stuff. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm all for taking something in a new direction. So, another thing I'm excited for is the new Mission Impossible movie. Apparently, it's getting rave reviews from everybody. 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy good.
Well, yeah, and especially considering a lot of people hate Tom Cruise because he's Tom Cruise.
I mean, we had a whole episode talking about Mission Impossible, and we're pretty excited.
And it's up to like 20 million views now.
Yeah, at least.
Viral.
10,000 million views.
Yes.
That's like a lot. Anyway, we bring that up. We will have a review of it, by the way. Ryan will be spoiling that movie for himself next week on the show. But the director, Christopher McQuarrie, who did Rogue Nation and this, really good director, is apparently considering, after he came out and said he's never going to do a superhero movie, came out and said, well, he would consider directing Man of Steel 2 or Green Lantern Corps. Man of Steel 2, obviously, because of his connection with Superman himself, Henry Cavill, in the Fallout movie. Apparently, they've talked about it on set, and he would be up for that. Or the Green Lantern Corps. Me personally, after seeing Rogue Nation and I'm going to see Fallout, he seems like he'd do a really good ensemble film, and I think he'd be a great Green Lantern Corps. Yeah. But how about this? You get him to direct Man of Steel 2, and you bring in James Gunn to direct Green Lantern.
I could see that happening.
At that point, Disney says, son of a bitch, and DC goes, woohoo, we're back, motherfucker.
And then it's one of the best soundtrack movies ever.
And then all the fans turn on Marvel because they've already said that over 50% of their movies are going to be led by female superheroes, which I think is cool. Yeah. But I have a feeling the trolls are going to be real angry about that. All right, okay, we got a couple more stories. I'm going to pull through them really fast so we can get to our trailers. Chris Hardwick has apparently, and then I say Chris Hardwick. Chris Hardwick has apparently been reinstated as to his Talking Dead host after AMC did what they are calling a very official, thorough investigation into his situation. What that means, I don't know. We've always, we said before in the show, there's a lot of people not saying anything. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I don't care about him anymore.
I don't feel either way because I didn't really watch the show, but...
I never once watched it.
I still feel like he's coming off this whole thing looking kind of bad in the whole situation, but, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But, hey, AMC apparently has enough confidence in him that they're bringing him back, so we'll see what happens. James Gunn, on the other hand, was fired. Just want to throw that back out there. Norman Reedus apparently made a pact with Andrew Lincoln to leave The Walking Dead together, but apparently that may or may not happen. People are wondering if that's really going to happen, considering Norman Reedus is rumored to be trying to sign a $20 million contract. But maybe that is why AMC is trying to get him to sign a $20 million contract.
Yeah, because if they just need to end the show. I gave up the season. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I really wanted to.
Well, he said that...
They need to end the series.
Well, Norman Reedus isn't talking anything about his contract, but he is saying that rumors of him taking over the lead in the show are vastly wrong, that this show apparently is going to be going into a female-led series where all the main females are going to be Michonne, whoever's left on the show. I'm not even sure who's left, but he dropped Michonne specifically will be taking the lead in this series, so whatever. I mean... Honestly, to your point, I just wish the show would end. I'll be honest. And then, let's see, Deadwood is officially getting a movie. 13 years after they canned the series, unexpectedly, we're going to get a finale to cap the whole series.
Is everyone still alive?
I don't even know. I've watched the first season, didn't watch the second because I heard they canceled it. So I was like, whatever. I'm going to go back and finish watching. I heard it's great. Ryan Reynolds, in the best news I've heard all week, is remaking Home Alone as an R-rated stoner flick. There's rumors that Macaulay Culkin is in talks right now to basically reprise his character of Kevin. They obviously probably won't use the same names, but it is going to be a 30-plus-year-old stoner who accidentally gets left home on a family vacation, misses his flight, so he takes this time to go home and just get real high, where he starts imagining people breaking into his home, but then you find out there are actually people breaking into his home, so he has to find a way to fend them off.
I would assume he gets stoned and he looks on his phone all day, and then if the people are trying to break in, he goes into his dad's drawer, gets a gun, and just shoots at them.
Yes, and honestly, like, if they get Macaulay Culkin, I am so on board for this movie.
Yeah, if they get Macaulay Culkin, I'm sold.
I mean, I'm ready anyway to watch this, but if they get Macaulay Culkin, I am in, like, 110%.
And he seems like, from, like, the stuff that I've seen, like, from his interviews lately, he would be for this. I think.
I think they should just get, I don't even know who released Home Alone, but just get them on board and make this an official sequel.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Like, this is what John Hughes would have wanted.
Yeah, this is exactly what John Hughes would have wanted. Speaking of things that we want, Hogwarts Castle is getting a Lego set. It's over 6,000 pieces, and it's going to cost $400.
Yeah, I saw that, and my kids would be into that for
It looks incredible. It looks incredible.
Oh, it looks amazing. My kids would be into that for 5 minutes, and then I would get stuck spending 30 hours putting it together.
Well, here's the worst part. We would put it together. We would spend weeks making this masterpiece, and our kids would come and just fucking destroy it in like 20 minutes.
Or you have to like put it up on a shelf somewhere.
Well, yeah, 6,000 pieces, $400.
Touches it.
That's not for kids. That's for us.
Yeah.
So.
Did they have a price point on it?
Yeah, $400.
Oh my god.
Which actually is reasonable for 6,000 pieces.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. And then lastly, we got some Fox news, but since it's X-Men, that doesn't involve... Okay, I'm going to get the gist. There's a lot of it, but frankly, I don't really give a damn.
Blast through it. I have no comments.
Okay, New Mutants and Dark Phoenix, we've been hearing for a long time that they suck ass. Like, they're like dingleberries from Uranus. Like, they're bad. Real bad. And... they've been reshooting the shit out of them because not only are they're like Fantastic Four level bad is what people are calling both these movies. Oh. And Marvel and Disney is like, we are not saddling this crap. You could damage our brand. So in an effort to even try and get these things pushed through, Fox has been spending millions of dollars on reshoots. But even the reshoots apparently aren't making these movies any better. And so there's a legit possibility that both these movies are going to get completely scrapped. Apparently the New Mutants, the only thing that saves it is great performances. But they brought in a director who has no knowledge at all of the X-Men. They tried to make it a horror movie, and it's turned fucking terrible. And then they decided to try and make it more of an X-Men movie, and now it's also terrible. The Dark Phoenix movie apparently has the entire cast phoning in their appearances.
All right, when do we get to start?
Yeah, like when is Marvel going to buy us? What's going on here? So. Yeah, rumor is that both these movies...
I get to play Cyclops when Disney owns us.
Yeah.
I still want to play Cyclops.
So, they've completely pulled Dark Phoenix off the schedule. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. And they have yet to release a trailer for it, which, considering it's already been finished and now they're in reshoots, is a little strange. But yeah, apparently Dark Phoenix is so bad, Disney wants no part of this. That is the rumors. Now, granted, take these with a grain of salt. These are all rumors. But... they are kind of starting to jive with what we're hearing on some of these things, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if these are very true.
From the same source, though, we did hear some interesting news. Apparently, Kevin Feige wants Galactus and the Silver Surfer will be the first new properties to enter the MCU when this merger happens. And they will use
Galactus
those
with giant.
Yeah, so apparently the rumor is that they will enter into the Eternals movie that has been recently put on the slate. And if you know anything about the Eternals, they kind of involve the Celestials in real deep space and a lot of really powerful beings. And that they will be the ones who bring the mutants into the universe. So, get the wheels turning and see how that thing goes.
Reboot, reset.
Yeah, well, that's how they're going to... Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. Would make a lot of sense. It's been long rumored that...
Thanos went like this and half the universe died. The Celestials are going to go like this and... the whole Marvel universe is going to reset.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But it's also been long rumored that Fantastic Four would be the first ones in. Fantastic Four would jive real easy with the current version of the MCU. So I think that would probably is what's going to happen. But hey, whatever. I'm up for any of it. It's also been rumored that Deadpool 3 will be in fact the last Deadpool movie. That Disney has no intention of continuing that property. And that they're going to combine, but they are going to give. But the rumor is that they are going to give them their X-Force movie, but they're not going to give an X-Force franchise. What they're going to do is Deadpool 3 is going to be the X-Force movie. So, kind of, that's the downside. Unfortunately, when a family-owned company, a family-oriented company takes over, like to your point, Deadpool.
Yeah, I think. If they could just have Deadpool just do like really quick cameos in like other Marvel movies, just to like, they're like everybody's fighting Thanos, and Deadpool just like walking in the background.
And they, it's in Disney's interest to make a trilogy and to not completely just like get rid of this character like they may do with these other two X-Men movies, because people love Deadpool. And they want to still be able to milk the DVD sales and the Blu-ray sales and the rentals and sell it as a package trilogy.
Who doesn't want to see Deadpool show up in a Spider-Man movie?
Well, exactly. So, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's kind of the news. It's all rumor stuff. Nothing's been confirmed, and until it does by Disney or Kevin Feige and these people, and we're not going to hear dick about anything until after this merger's done. Yeah. So, anyway, there you go. There's your news for the week. So all right, trailers. We went a little bit longer in the news than I really thought we would, so we'll probably try and go a little bit shorter in the trailers. So instead of breaking down every single trailers, we're going to kind of blow through our favorites and least favorite trailers, and we'll talk a little bit about each one. If you guys want complete trailer breakdowns, I'm sure there are plenty of shows on the interwebs that do that. So we are just going to geek out and kind of be nerds about some of these. So, all right, first up, which one do you want to talk about first? How about we talk about that Vikings trailer?
Oh my God!
We got our first.
I love Vikings.
We got our first look at the back half of season 5 of Vikings, because they turned them into 20 episode season divided by 10 episodes. So this is the back half of season 5. It's going to air, I think, November 29th. I think is what they said.
Yeah, I think in November.
And it looks like they're doing a little bit of a time jump. So anybody not familiar with the last season of Vikings, there's a little bit of spoiler if you haven't watched it. All the brothers started fighting each other. Battle lines were drawn. Bjorn won and then got his ass handed to him by Ivor the Boneless, who teamed up with France, his uncle Rollo, and took back Connecticut, the capital of Norway or wherever they are in their Viking times.
I think it's Sweden.
Sweden. And so it looks like in this trailer, it looks like Bjorn and them are going to England they befriended the priest, who is a badass, and I think they're going back to England to try and make a deal to fight the Vikings, like the French made the deal with the other set of Vikings, with Ivor. And it all seems like it's leading to an epic battle for Connecticut, where it's brother against brother.
It seems like Ivor's kind of like beefed up fortifications a little bit.
Well, you know what? They turned Ivor...
Lagatha was working on. She was kind of trying to fortify Connecticut a little bit.
To be fair, there are no heroes and villains in this show. There just tends to be people who are a little more heroic and a little more villainous. I mean, this show's done a pretty good job of showing, that Vikings aren't really good guys or bad guys. They're pretty... People in that era were just pretty awful in general.
Yeah. And they just wanted fame and to, do whatever the hell they want.
They wanted to take shit. They did a lot of pillaging, a lot of murdering, a lot of raping across the land. Yeah. And, unfortunately, like I said, they weren't really good people. So this isn't really good guy versus bad guy. But, they've always kind of set something up that there was something a little different about Ivor, a little evil, and I always kind of wondered how they were going to do it, because they tried to start making him a little more of a sympathetic character when Ragnar finally died that season. But then they are really going out of the way to turn...
Straight deep dive.
He looks like a psychopath in this next season, like a straight lunatic. I mean, Bjorn's always kind of been the more heroic of all the Lothbrok brothers, but
he's like the big, gigantic man,
mountain of a man who's just a beast. Yeah,
but he's always got he's always got the most wicked haircut too.
Yeah, and so
they always do crazy hairstyles, like those shaved,
the costumes. But I don't know if it's like memories, flashbacks, or whatever, but they had every single one of, you ever notice that every single one of the main characters looked like they were being killed in the trailer? So their trailers are notoriously, they add stuff for the trailer, but every single one of them looked like at one point they'd been murdered. So I don't know. Yeah. All I know is Lagatha, her hair was definitely grayer, so like I said, it looks like they're going to do a little... This show always does a time jump, and it doesn't prepare you for it. It's just like one episode, and then all of a sudden, the next episode's like 3 years later. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah. But they had to let some boys grow up so they could just go get killed again.
Unlike Game of Thrones, they don't spend 8 episodes trying to build up an army. They just show up the next episode with an army that they spent the last 5 years of the time jump building.
Yeah,
which I do kind of respect. The show moves along.
We tried our best to make sure nobody died.
Well, I kind of respect that, because think about it. In 5 seasons, we've gotten the whole story of Ragnar, his infant sons. Now they're all old and fighting each other. So, show moves along.
And I do have to say that when they did the white thing on their faces,
yes,
that was like probably the most badass thing. I was sitting there thinking like, man, if I would like go back in time, in football, where I put like,
You're gonna put the white stuff on
my face, like, and I should have got white. That would look crazy badass. But if you notice, they're doing it. You know how like they do like a lot of the Ragnar symbols have like the two things like that. That's what's on their face. Yeah, it's like that. It's like the Ragnar symbol.
But but honestly, like you could tell me and Ryan how much we love this show. If you're not watching it, you got a few months to get caught up. Definitely watch it. We could probably dissect this trailer.
You can watch all of it on Amazon Video right now.
Yes. So check it out. It was a great trailer. It definitely got us excited. Another trailer that it's not really. I just want to talk about this briefly. We got our first real trailer for the George R. R. Martin sci-fi series Night Flyers. Wasn't quite what I expected because they talked a lot about sci-fi horror, and this was definitely more sci-fi than horror. But you can definitely it's got a very Event Horizon feel to it. Did you get that?
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. But then I was also more just like, why are you fucking not working on finishing your Game of Thrones books? And
right, there you go.
And that was pretty much what I was mostly thinking.
We have not got a Game of Thrones.
This is what he is doing.
All right, Ryan, we get it. You're mad about the books. We get it. Let it be. We did not get a Game of Thrones trailer. We did get a kind of date. Apparently, HBO says April of next year. But I think it's always been what we've heard. So whatever, we'll see.
Everyone's going to die.
Heartburn. Should have had nachos. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Was that covered?
I needed extra time for Kit's wedding.
There was a Fear the Walking Dead trailer, but I'll be honest, I didn't watch it because I don't watch Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really good.
Neither do I.
I'm sure it's great. All right, see if there's any. Was there any other TV ones? Oh yeah, The Flash. Before we get to The Flash, Sci-Fi also released a new trailer for The Deadly Class, the new show from the two brothers who did. Okay, the Russo brothers, thank you, of the Captain America Winter Soldier fame, and probably, I guess, that little movie Avengers, but Infinity War, which is, by the way, on digital on Tuesday, next week. Looks really good. It's based on a Image comic book series that's really well done and beloved, so I don't know. I think it looked good. Check it out.
Well, assassins.
And then Flash. Then we got it. I mean, we got like a montage trailer for all the CW shows. But the one that really stood out was Flash got its own trailer, and it was freaking awesome. I don't know if there's an Arrow one. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think they had an Arrow trailer. But the Flash trailer,
I didn't see an Arrow one.
Yeah, I didn't see any Arrow trailers. I should probably look, but whatever. I'll do this one.
The Flash is the show that I've been really kind of more paying attention to. I was really disappointed in the last season.
Well, spoiler alert, we're going to talk a little bit about season 4 when we talk about this trailer. So if you haven't seen season 4, you might want to skip ahead about 3 minutes. But this trailer was amazing. To Ryan's point, last season was not strong. The last 2 seasons have not been that good. But it ended on a high note. We find out that Barry Allen's daughter, Nora West, has come back from the future, and that she has messed some stuff up, and that she needs help. And so this season,
I couldn't tell. Is she more of a speedster, or is she more like a time-shifting person?
Well, she's a speedster, but you gotta remember, speedsters can go back in time.
I thought maybe I need to watch it again. I think I misinterpreted what her abilities were.
So I don't want to talk too much about this trailer, but I will say this: you guys should watch it. The show looks like it's definitely going back in the right direction, a new direction. It looks like it's going to be a much more violent direction. Which, if you know who the villain is, which
it was Bane. Because
it's not Bane. It was a dude with a lightning dagger.
It was Darth Vader.
I knew who it was. I could not remember his name. I had to look it up. So his name is Cicada. Cicada. But he's not Bane. But here's a little bit about him. If everybody's wondering who the hell that guy is, he is a guy who in the comic books gets struck by lightning and gets the ability to basically steal people's life. And he kills his own family, their life force. He can suck their life energy and kill them away. Ooh. And he tends to stab people with a lightning dagger. Now, he believes he was struck by lightning the same time Barry Allen was, so he has this weird feeling. He has this weird, he believes him and Barry are connected. And so because Barry saves people, he believes he's like the anti-savior, and he goes along trying to kill every person that Barry saved. That is his mission, is he goes and kills people that Barry Allen has actually saved. And
suck the life out of them.
He sucks the life out of them. I feel like there was going to be some big characters knocked off this season.
So why does he have a hard time breathing? Because of the lightning strike?
Probably because of lightning. I don't know. Probably just his costume.
Really
he's gonna be played by what's his name? The guy in American Pie, Chris Klein, the big tall jock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's the main villain in season 2. That is who he is. If any of you guys were wondering, but no, the highlights of this for me was we finally got the ring that has the Flash suit in it, which is awesome. And cool. Yeah, there's some really good stuff. But check out the trailer.
Like, is that the Green Lantern ring? I was like, oh, no, it's just a
Oh, I knew exactly what it was. When she threw him the ring, he's like, I don't have my suit. And she's like, oh, I've got you covered. I was like, yes, finally. Because anybody doesn't know, Barry Allen puts his ring or his suit in a ring. Why does that make sense? Don't think about it. Just say it's awesome.
And why wouldn't someone be like, oh, hey, that's a Flash ring. Why are you wearing that? And you're like,
shut up. I really like the Flash. He's my favorite.
He would actually move so fast and just like move that person away.
All right. So now we're in the movie trailers. The first couple, I have not too much to say about. We got the new Godzilla, King of the Monsters trailer, which was awesome.
Got to see him shoot his atomic breath.
And we got to see the Hydra. We got to see Mothra. First of all, this trailer, if it's any indication of the final version of this movie's going to be fucking beautiful. Like, the cinematography in this, like, some of the images they use of, like, the Hydra coming out of, like, this volcano, it looks so great. And the way that they do the lightning out of, when he does his atomic breath, where it shows, like, all of his little spikes light up blue, is great. I mean, like, the whole thing is just really cool.
You can tell it's really an homage to like the old school cinema and all. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Well, and it's kind of cool. They do a little twist of they're saying that they were the original Titans. Like the Titans weren't myths; they were real creatures, and that because we're destroying the Earth, the Titans have been released to basically stop us from doing it. That seems to be kind of what they're going with for a theme. All I know is the cat. It's got 11 in it. She's great. It looks great. I'm really excited for this movie. This trailer completely... I would have seen it anyway, but I'm really excited. And I'm even more excited now that we know that at the end of this, we're going to get King Kong versus Godzilla next the following year. So
it's going to be sweet.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see here. What else we got? Glass. We got the first official trailer for Glass, which looks really good. Apparently, it looks like there's a psychologist who specializes in people who think they're superheroes, but...
Yeah. All 3 of them.
They're all tied together in a psych ward. Should be interesting. I'm sure that's going to end well. But each part of the trailer gave each person a little bit of a... they really are bringing all the movies together into one. I mean, this is as much of a Split 2 as it is an Unbreakable 2. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it looks really good. It looks like M. Night has found something he's in love with, and it looks like he's top of his game.
What is the twist going to be? Is it going to be that they're all just actually...
that they're on a plane and then there's snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah, it's all Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, they're all actually dead.
Afterlife. With his dolls in the afterlife.
I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a twist. I'm not thinking too much. You know what? I find these movies are ruined if you try and find the twist. If you just try and figure out the twist the whole time, just enjoy the movie. I really liked Unbreakable.
All in the village the whole time.
Yeah, that was a dumb movie. I really liked Unbreakable. I really liked Split, and I think Glass is going to be really good. Another trailer that I was really excited for. I don't know how much Ryan was. I don't know if you're a huge Harry Potter fan, but Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah,
we got another new trailer.
Johnny Depp looked kind of freaky.
Yeah, I know Johnny Depp isn't real popular these days, but he looks great in this movie. And it was kind of cool. You got to see Newt as a new Scamander as a student at Hogwarts. So it was cool to see the students back in Hogwarts. Had a very Harry Potter feel in that aspect. And you definitely this seems like it's going to be much more of an adult, like wizards doing like adult magic stuff, right? I mean they're definitely building towards this war between Dumbledore and Grindelwald, which is really cool. I really enjoyed it, but it still just isn't Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, it gets like right up to the point.
Yeah.
So it's like here's Harry Potter, yeah. I mean, this is right here.
This is better. This is better than Hobbit, but it still doesn't quite feel like. I mean, as epic as it tries to be, it's just not Harry Potter, which which I think holds it back a little bit. But I am very excited for Fantastic Beasts. I love this universe, and
it'll be good for at least one good movie watch. I mean,
listen, I could be.
It might not be more than that. But.
I could be wrong. Maybe by the time all 5 movies are done, this is an unbelievably epic series. But I feel like this is going to be that other series, right? Like, oh, you should watch Harry Potter, and then when you're done, yeah, definitely go watch the Fantastic Beasts series. It's good.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I can see that.
But that's probably all I can hope for, to be honest with you. Let's see here. What else do we have? Are we getting to the last 2? The big ones? The big guns? I think we got the last. Let me look here.
That's the only ones that matter.
Yeah, well, the other ones were good. Okay, so which one do you want to talk about first? Okay, we're down to 2.
I want to do Aquaman first.
You want to do Aquaman first? All right, so DC owned Comic-Con, in my opinion, with 2 unbelievable trailers. We're going to talk about both of them. The first up was my favorite of the 2. Now, I did love the other one. It totally took me by surprise. But I expected Aquaman... Deep down, I expected Aquaman to not be great. I expected it to be good.
I think everybody expects that because it's Aquaman.
Well, James Wan, I figured it was going to be a little more... Maybe they were going to do like more of a spooky, like underwater... it's Aquaman. I mean, how good can it be? What we got blew my fucking mind. If the movie's even half as good as the trailer, it's going to be unbelievably epic. He took a movie that I thought was going to be more of like a scary origin story, and I mean, it's basically like World War Ocean, right? I mean, it looks amazing. Not only does the imagery look beautiful, it's an unbelievably beautiful movie that they've done with with the special effects and stuff. It looks epic on every form. I mean, you literally have giant crocodiles fighting giant lobsters and people riding sharks and like Black Manta blasting shit with his laser eyes.
He's just like popping in.
And tridents and freaking Aquaman running around being Aqua-ish.
Yeah.
It looks
like little kid Aquaman at the aquarium. Like, hi, dude. Fish.
When they start making, he's talking to the fish, and then bullies try and pick on him, and all of a sudden the sharks start attacking the tank, and they're like, "Ooh, look at him! He's talking to fish." I will say there's a couple things that stand out. One, Mira's red hair is ridiculous. It's almost glowing or red. You could have toned it down. Amber Heard's hair could have been toned down just a little bit. But just honestly, it
looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I mean and even though the bar was about as low as you can be, just because just from Justice League, and nobody's really sure if everyone knew what the Wonder Woman property was going to bring in now, but. The bar for Aquaman is set very low. People, even the comics, people have very.
It had a very Wonder Woman feel, right? With the aspect of the fun mixed with the seriousness, but it also had a very much like a BVS action feel, where this movie is not going to skimp on the battles, right? There's going to be a lot of them, and if
you watch Shark Week, you're going to be like, man, Shark Week sucks.
If you want to see a giant killer whale bite a dude's head off, you're probably going to see it in this movie. They are not holding back. He is the king of the ocean and talks to fish. They're going to use that in this movie, and it looks awesome. But the other thing I noticed is he does a lot of this where he catches things like 3 different times. Someone throws a trident, he's like, bam! Someone tries to get him with a sword, he's like, bam! I mean, he's doing a lot of that, catch the shit before it hits him in the eyeball.
He's going to be punching a lot of bitches.
That's probably a lot of sharks in the face. But yeah, it looks really cool. Check out the Aquaman trailer. I was massively impressed. I think more than once I said, "Oh, holy shit!"
Before I go to bed tonight,
they found a way to make Aquaman awesome. I mean, his trailer is already probably the 3rd best DC movie ever made. So we'll see.
That's pretty true.
So, and then the last one was another DC movie, like we said, that was definitely better than even I thought it was going to be. Shazam. We got the first Shazam trailer, and that movie is going to be just pure enjoyment, pure fun, pure absolute entertainment.
I showed it to both my kids, and they're like, "That looks awesome," and I want to see it.
And I also see why they cast Zachary Levi to play Shazam. This was a role he was made to play. Yeah. Just the childish enjoyment. He embodies the fun that all of us get to have, right? The inner child. Zachary Levi is the inner child manifested into a man. And he is loving every minute of this movie.
And when you see him moving around in the suit and stuff like that, a lot of like some of the criticisms that people had about it, like it pretty much goes to the wayside when you kind of see the introduction and everything like that.
Well, you realize that it's corny. It's super corny, but it's supposed to be. That is the whole point. It is a child's idea of what a superhero would look like and be like.
A child who doesn't know a lot about superheroes.
No.
But knows like the visual of superheroes.
Yeah, like, and I love how he doesn't know his powers, and he's trying to test his powers, and so they have all these different tests, and they all end badly, and then they do things like him and his best friend are what? They're supposed to be like 13 maybe? 12, 13?
Yeah.
And so, like that. I like how they're going to the grocery store to like buy sodas, and like there's a robbery, and he ends up getting shot, and his friend's like, dude, you're bulletproof. And he's like, or bullet resistant or something like that. And he's like, and he looks at the guys who shot him. He's like, oh, you guys are totally dead. He chucks him like out the window.
He's like sitting there like looking at his friend, and he's happy and smiling. You're dead.
You guys are dead.
And the next thing, the bad guy flying crashes. Dude,
and he's
sorry about your window.
Sorry about your window, but to be fair, I did stop the robbery. Like, it just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It just looks really good. They didn't really show like a villain or anything, did they? No, Mark Strange is going to be the villain. He's going to be an evil wizard. Okay. You know, I don't know how this is. The only thing we didn't get to feel of was what the action's going to feel like in this. If it's going to be epic or more. If this is designed to be much more of like just a kind of a fun, almost like an adult kids movie type movie. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see more about the trailer, but I feel like for a first trailer, they absolutely nailed it. This hit all the right buttons, and if you only want to watch this trailer and not know too much about the movie, I'm talking to you, Jeff, you could definitely watch this trailer, and it will give you a good feel of what this movie is going to be like without giving away way too much. I feel like most of the stuff we saw was probably in the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie.
Yes.
I don't think we saw anything from the back half.
It looks like it's just going to be a lot of super duper fun.
Yeah, so that comes out early next year, I believe. So looking forward to Shazam. But there you go. That is all the news that we heard about in Comic-Con, and that did happen. I'm sure we missed something. If we did, hey, you know, whatever. I was in the woods.
Yeah, we got what mattered.
I don't know what Ryan was doing, but I was in the woods running from bears and shit.
I was working.
He was hanging out with the dingleberries from Uranus.
And then coming.
All right, we don't really have much of recommendations this week, so let's just dive right into our From the Faithful 50. We didn't get a lot of...
I got a quick recommendation. Just because you don't have one doesn't mean nobody
shut up. Why'd you have to give it away? I'm still stalling for time to figure it out. Whatever, shut up. Shut up, mister. I got to do the show short tonight because I got to go to bed. Oh,
that's fine. We'll go right into the Faithful 50.
All right. We got a bunch of questions from a couple people.
Yes. I'm just hitting the reload button just to make sure.
All right, so I got one. So Brian from Washington wanted to know, what was our favorite trailer from Comic-Con or /news, and our least favorite trailer /news? So I think we kind of talked about it. I think my favorite was probably Aquaman.
Yes.
And my favorite news was probably that Cloak and Dagger got renewed for season 2.
I think my favorite was it'll be Vikings and Shazam trailers, and my favorite news was I can't think of what my favorite news. My two favorite things were the trailers, so that's about a trailer /newsy you can get.
Well, let's see. My least favorite trailer and least favorite news was probably. My least favorite trailer was the one we didn't get from Game of Thrones, those fuckers.
And my least favorite news was James Gunn being fired.
Yeah.
Right before Comic-Con.
Boom. All right. So thank you, Brian, for your question. We'd love to hear what your favorite trailer was and your least favorite trailer was. And news as well. All right. What else we got?
We had a shitload of questions from Evil Chris.
Nice.
If my phone would actually
oh my God.
stop being a dick.
Let me do it.
Well, I'm not Brian West.
Let me do it. Get out of here, trailer. Hang on. Let me pull it up. You're the worst.
You're the worst. I had the one open. You're supposed to be like, oh, hey, I can go right to mine.
You always do this. That's why you're the
worst.
I
don't always do this. You always do this. You screw everything up.
Did he post it on mine? He must have posted it on mine.
Such a dick.
I'm a dick. You're a dick.
You're a dick, totally.
You're a huge dick. You're a huge dick from Uranus.
I know I have a huge dick.
Whatever. You shouldn't tell the people that. All right, I got him. Evil Chris from Utah would like to know one of four things. The first one being, what do we think of the virtual reality besides the bullshit we've been sold via Ready Player One, which is a goddamn fantastic movie, and I really hope you're not talking shit about it, Chris.
Yes.
And The Lawnmower Man, which was not a good movie. I mean, it was alright back in the day, but I'm sure I've not watched it in the last few years, and I'm sure it does not hold up at all. What do I think about VR? Well, I mean, let's be real. Ready Player One was amazing. Have you tried
it? Have you gotten the goggles?
Yes, I put my phone in front of my face with the goggles and hit VR mode. Some of it's kind of cool, like when you're doing the stargazing thing, when you can look around and it uses GPS look. It's like it shows you like moons and stuff. Nothing has been as immersive as Ready Player One. Let's be real, that movie, they really went into the Matrix. They were not doing. They went into the Matrix in that movie. They were not doing VR.
I can't tell you how many times my son has asked me if we're really going to be able to have an Oasis like on Ready Player One.
Okay.
And my response every time is, not while you're alive.
There is nothing that can be that immersive with a headset on. It's just not possible.
With just a headset, some gloves, and a treadmill to walk on.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for a great movie. Like I said, it makes for making a great Matrix movie without having to hook into the Matrix. But unless you are physically hooked into something, you are never going to have that kind of in-depth experience. I don't know. VR to me has always been kind of a gimmick. I haven't done a ton of it, so I can't say that it's never going to be great. But I don't know. To me, it's just a video game that you're more immersed in. You're never going to be part of the Matrix or part of the...
I'll wait until we get our holosuites like on Star Trek The Next Generation. Then I'll be satisfied.
I'm with you. I think projectables is a better way to do it than trying to cover your body with all these different gadgets and stuff. But, I mean, we're so far away from either one of those being a real big thing. I know people like VR, and I know some people swear by it. I'd like to try, honestly. Like I said, I haven't done a ton of it, so I think I'm going to Vegas here soon, and I think they actually have, some of the casinos have gaming suites now where you can try that kind of stuff, so I might try one of them. Might maybe try and go in like a real, like, expensive, nice VR experience and see what happens, but if I do that, I'll give you guys I'll let you know, I'll give you my review, but as of right now, I don't know, man. The little bit that I've tried does not make me want to do more of it.
If you had to do one game in VR, would it be like a fantasy or like a shooter game or like?
I'd like to do like a Superman game, somewhere you could fly.
Just be flying around.
Yeah, flying around. Woo!
Punch people.
So that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, thanks, Chris, for that first question. The second question of Chris's forward: are either one of us willing to admit to a crime on our recording? No.
I have stolen something once when I was a kid.
That can and will be used against you in a court of law, Ryan. Way to go. And you've now been fired from the Geek Dad Report. I have no choice. I've been told.
The statute limitations have very much passed on that.
I will never admit to a crime on a recording. I am not the president. Second of all, let's see. Thank you, Chris, for that question. Moving on to the next question. It sounds like Chris had a busy week this week. Were 1980s cartoons the best ever, or were they the best ever, or are current cartoons just as good or better, and people are just being judgy asshole fanboy assholes?
I think the cartoons out now are perfect for our time.
I think they're infinitely better than the ones we grew up with.
And they were good for their time.
These ones are infinitely better than the cartoons we watched back in the days. Now, they were much more original back in the day. We got like Transformers. Well, I can't say they're original. I watched like Steven Universe with my daughter and some of those cartoons. Fucking Rick and Morty. Some of that shit's insane, like crazy. Like nobody's ever thought of that stuff back in the day. But to your point, yes, they were perfect for us, and this generation's perfect for them. I think Chris is referring to the She-Ra cartoon. They got the first few looks at it, and people are just crapping all over it. Well, the original She-Ra was garbage. It was drawn poorly. The episodes were terrible. Don't sit here and be like...
they put a lot more effort into it. I mean, and the art quality is a lot sharper. They can do a lot more stuff.
Here's the thing. I think cartoons nowadays spend a lot more time on the messaging and their story than they ever did back in the day. Back in the day, they were trying to sell toys. That was it.
Yep, that's very, very true.
I mean,
all the toy sales.
And I've watched some of the old Transformers and G.I. Joe. They're terrible, man. They are fucking... I watched some old Ninja Turtles.
He-Man was so fucking terrible.
My daughters love the new Ninja Turtles, and so we watched some of the old original Ninja Turtles. It is awful. Like, just terrible. So, Chris, to answer your question, cartoons were fucking terrible back in the day. We only look at them through the goggles of nostalgia. Cartoons now are infinitely better, and all the remakes are better than the original. They're all better. They're all better now than they ever have been.
Yeah. So, I 100% agree, Tom.
Just because some of the new stuff, like the She-Ra, doesn't match. You know, like, dude, I saw the new Thundercats. Yeah, it doesn't look good compared to what I would have liked to see them do, like the Castlevania animation. But it's probably still going to be a better cartoon than what the original Thundercats were.
The new Voltron is better than the old Voltron.
Yeah, I need to watch that. That's on my list. Anyway. Good. All right, thank you, Chris, for that. And then finally, let's see here. Last one. Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross are drafted to fight a war. How fucked is the enemy?
Extremely fucked.
They're all dead immediately.
They all die of happy trees and neighborly love.
If Bob Ross's paintbrush is actually a magic wand. And Mr. Rogers is actually a necromancer whose words bring people back to life. Single-handedly win.
I just can't picture them doing anything evil.
That being said, I think I just invented an amazing movie.
You think so?
Mr. Rogers is an evil wizard, and Bob Ross they're both wizards, and Bob Ross's paintbrush, anything he paints comes alive. And Mr. Rogers uses his voice to bring back the dead.
You need to write that fanfic right now.
I'm working on it in my head. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Brian and Chris, for your questions. Everybody else, well, you guys can just go to hell. Thanks for pushing. Yeah. Thanks for nothing. I mean, I know you all thought I was on vacation, but that is no excuse.
No excuse, people.
No excuse, because honestly, every Thursday, Ryan works hard to put up a post, and he secretly cries when he only gets a handful of responses because he's very insecure. And
I spent a good hour sobbing to myself because
when the show's over and we get less than 7 questions, I'd berate Ryan and say mean things to him. So this is on you. I blame you for the punishment that Ryan's about to endure.
I had to turn off my phone last time.
So next week, I would really suggest every Thursday Ryan puts up the post. Please
8 questions.
All right, whatever. You know the drill. All right, man. Before we get out of here, a quick recommendation. What do you got?
My recommendation is the Ubisoft came out with a new game, a mobile game, Heroes of Might and Magic. You might have heard of that before. This one is called Elemental Guardians. It's just your typical, you gotta pay money to get more gold coins if you want to try to advance your stuff faster. They gave us some codes. They gave us, I'm the only one that played it.
No, I played it a little bit. Ryan used up all the code, so he's the only one who advanced his character farther.
It wasn't that much, honestly. It was like a daily, you get like a couple extra gold coins.
I thought the graphics in this game were very good. I thought the animations were good. I thought the gameplay was solid.
The battle stuff was good. You get to pick, what you get up to 4 like little creature thing.
My biggest problem with this game is that they clearly want you to spend money to advance at all. And on top of it, you have to have not just a good internet connection, like a strong internet connection to play this. Anytime I got into shoddy internet, it would not let me play it, which is frustrating because a lot of times when you're just on your downtime playing it, it's in places that you may not have great internet connections, so you want to play a game. And it's just or if you're camping in the woods and you barely have LTE, don't even try playing this game. You might as well just go to something else because it's just not going to work.
If you got to go into the back part of your office where the bathrooms are and you're sitting on the can and you just want to try and play really quick and your connection sucks. But it was all right for like the first week or so, maybe 2 weeks. But like you said, it's very clearly one of those level grinding. If you want to advance faster, here's slap us an extra $10, and you can boost your stuff up faster. When those kind of factors kick in, I tune out very quickly.
Which the game is free to download. To be fair, so. Yes. And you can play it without it if you want to, but if you factor in, it's going to cost you about $30-$40 to really get your character where you want it to be. if that's what you want to spend on a game, I mean, all right. It's not a terrible game for that money, but I don't know. I'm not a big pay-to-play guy. Just give me a game. I'll pay whatever you want me to up front. Just let me do it. But anyway.
Yeah, so we thank you for sending it. And
thank you very much.
We appreciate the chance and the opportunity to do it. It's just not our cup of tea. So if you like that kind of thing, go ahead and try Heroes Might Magic Elemental Guardians. If not, and you just want to, play a quick RPG for, a week or something like that, and then just delete it. It's free to download. So.
All right. My recommendation this week is, I don't know if any of you guys, I don't think I've recommended on the show before, but I've been watching Dragon Ball Super. I'm on an episode about 70. They've been bringing them, it's one episode every single week, so it's been, I don't know, however many weeks there have been, a little over a year now. And it's fantastic. If you are even remotely a Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z fan, and you're not on board with this Dragon Ball Super, even if you've never watched the other series, still watch this one. The animation is great. The stories are really good. And it's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in any anime. Every week I look forward to Saturday nights when they air Dragon Ball Super because it's just such a fun show. I love it. So if you're not watching Dragon Ball Super, that's all I gotta say. It's a great show. You can catch up. I believe almost all the episodes are on demand. If you on
where is the streaming?
It is on Cartoon Network. It comes on Adult Swim every Saturday night, and you can, if you have, I'm not sure about Direct TV, but I know on Comcast, if you just see Dragon Ball Super, they have most of the episodes available to watch. So check it out. Even if you're a little behind, you can start every. They usually have 2 or 3 episode arcs, and then they'll have a big, 15 episode arc. But check it out. It moves a lot faster than the old Dragon Ball Z did, and it's really great, and the animation's killer. So I would highly recommend watching Dragon Ball Super on Cartoon Network right now. It's great. I know the diehards have already watched the Japanese version. The series is over. We're getting a whole bunch of movies and stuff coming out, but in Japan it's been over for a while. But we're getting the American dubbed version currently.
Or is there at least one full episode of just him charging up?
No, they kind of moved past that. They did the episodes. I'm telling you, tend to move along a little bit faster. But it's great, man. There's some real there's so much more comedy. Yeah. Oh no, there's just as epic stuff. Do they have god level powers now? It's so great. It's great trying to watch them figure out ways to have them fight people because they now have the power of gods, right? So but the episodes are funnier than they have ever been. There was an episode where they were all playing this baseball game where I legit was in tears, just crying because it was so funny. I was dying. So anyway, check it out, Dragon Ball Super. But anyway, I think that's all we got. Unless you got anything else, want to tell everybody where they can find us.
You can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is Brian153 on Twitter, and I am Big Bruiser. We are also on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and you can find us on podhell.com.
Yes.
And you can also listen to us on audio only on iTunes. And if you do that, please go and leave us a subscribe for one, and then give us a 5-star rating, because we would appreciate it. And it just kind of it makes it better for us. And if you really want to, and you really like an episode, or we did something funny, share it with your friends.
Yes, share, subscribe, like.
Bring your friends into it.
Tell 10 friends about us. 10. And you get a gold star.
At least 10.
Bring back the gold stars.
Tell us, and we will take a gold star, and we'll stick it on a piece of paper. We'll write your name next to it, and we'll show it to people.
We'll start having a chalkboard of gold stars, but anyway. But like Ryan said, just tell your friends about us. The best thing you can do for us is like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. And that is all we'll ever ask from you guys. So, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, we have a Mission Impossible. We did our very first Geek Dad rankings, where we ranked the first 5 Mission Impossible movies. That is available now on YouTube. And we have lots of other shows about movies and comics and stuff like that. So check through our YouTube page and our Facebook page videos. And we have a lot of different things there. So, everybody, thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay awesome, everybody.
And stay nerdy.